Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 4 over CS2 tips and tricks for every single map that's currently in rotation. I think that we're currently near the end of season 3, so hopefully episode 5 I get to showcase y'all some tips on Anubis and we don't gotta worry about train anymore. Let's get started now. Alright, and the very first map we're going to be doing is Dust 2, and I'm going to showcase y'all my very favorite smoke. If you would like to see what my favorite smoke is, well, it's the top mid smoke. And not just any top mid smoke. Top mid where it is inside of the fucking sky. Okay, so to get started on how to throw this smoke, you actually need a molly, and you're going to jump on this little spot out of spawn. You normally throw mid smoke here, and just line yourself up on top of the middle of this plant down there when you're looking at the wall. So here is fine. From here, you're going to aim to where this pole is now and pull out a molly. And I aim at the top of this sill directly underneath the pole, so about here. And I'm going to do a tap W jump throw. But as soon as I tap W, I'm also going to tap S so I don't fall off this ledge. And now I'm at the same exact spot. I don't really bother. I just go slightly lower now. I go to the lower portion of this paint here. And now I'll do this exact same thing. And that smoke will hit the molly and cause the smoke to bloom. Just the molly cleared right as the smoke hit. Tip number 2 I have for you. Everybody should know this, but if you're standing back here behind Goose, you can just chuck flashes at like the leaves of this tree here. And these are really strong flashes to combat any opponents who are scaling up Cat. From their point of view, they just may not notice from way up here the flash is coming up and behind the tree. So this is a really good flash. You could throw one and then swing out from behind Goose when enemies are scaling up Cat. Alright, and the first tip I'm going to be giving you is if you're going outside, you should always try to bank a smoke just about off this fence here. You can throw it early or late, and this is a really good cross smoke for getting out here past red. And you can also decide to jump on top of this box to swing over the top of the smoke, or maybe even swing out to the side of the smoke. There's a lot you can do here, but the main thing that this does is block the opportunity of an enemy team having an op posted up garage and just shooting you as soon as you swing outside. You ever have the close cross smokes thrown? This is not how they're supposed to be thrown, but if you ever have the ones that are thrown near close red here, having the cross smoke that bounces off the wall and lands somewhere around here is really helpful as well, because it allows you to fully get around here and get around red as well without anybody seeing or hearing you at all. Tip number 2 I'm going to give y'all is a little bit of a ladder tip, and this works on any map with ladders, but Nuke is the map where you deal with ladders the most, and that is you can walk into ladders. I just walked into the ladder there, and I released all of my movement keys. I stopped holding W once I walked off the ledge, and that caused me to never attach to the ladder. You can use this to wait till you fall a certain distance down a ladder, and then tap W and make yourself attach. So this time, I'm going to wait till I get to the bottom of the ladder, tap W, and here I am, made it all the way to the bottom silently without taking any fall damage. If you didn't know this, if you plant either in this corner or backside on A Inferno, and then play the post plant here from pit, you will actually survive when the bomb explodes. That time, I lived with 55 health. If you didn't already know this, you need to be very careful over chickens on Inferno. They can have lots of strange interactions, such as legitimately blocking the door. This door, I cannot close it, and say if I was inside with the door closed, I would not be able to open this door. Funny known fact, yeah, some people don't know that chickens have this much impact over the game. If you really want to know, Rops has died because of a chicken blocking the door here.
Has done a massive job. And with 10 seconds left, Rops has to hold on to his gun. Chicken blocking the door? I've not seen that before. If that gets him killed, oh my god.
You ever have a teammate who's pushing Ivy at the start of the round because they have a good spawn for it? And when you do have a good spawn for Ivy and you decide to push it, you will generally have a better timing than the T's do. You can always have a second player come over here and either stand just like right here or right here. It's not too picky, but just you stand anywhere in this general area and aim at the top right of this doorway and just chuck a left click flash for a perfect pop flash for your teammate to swing out Ivy from. Most people should know this, but I actually do know some people who don't. You can actually jump onto E-Box like this. And I mean, it's not too useful, but you never know when you may need to use something like this in a 1v1 situation or something. So for the first tip I'm going to give you, it's actually a better way that you can boost. So this guy looks like he's floating on the air, but he's really just like standing really far back on the corner of this box. Same as how I'm doing here. You can have your teammate do the exact same thing. Normally people boost directly in front of this wood wall, which is really good. I mean, you still catch people off guard, but this angle is becoming far more known nowadays. I don't even see too many players use this in my lobbies, but if I watch enough Overpass pro play, I'm re-aiming up here every game myself for some reason. So the good counter that I've been seeing a lot of pros use to get around this is they'll actually boost at the side of this corner here. You can have somebody stand along the edge where their feet are like floating, and from here you'll have them jump up a second time, and I can like swing and use this like pillar as cover here. So it's far better than just being stuck to one spot and having to crouch up and down for cover and still being able to get spammed through wood. Here just gives you slightly more safety to be able to escape and then swing back out if you really want to. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why people don't know how to throw B flashes. You throw B flash, you just chuck left click flashes like here to be over short, and the first ones are directly over and to the right for the people who come out monster. These are really good flashes. If nobody else is throwing support flashes for your team exiting monster, or you're just the last person out while your team's W king, you can throw some flashes and they're really helpful. So the first tip I have for you is that every single person should know how to throw the A smokes, which the A smokes are CT, jungle, and stairs. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to throw the CT smoke because realistically, you can't throw all 3 smokes every game, but it's pretty easy to tell one player on your team to drop you a smoke, and I'm going to show you how to smoke off jungle and stairs from one location. So all I do is I tell a teammate, hey, drop me a smoke right here on ping. I'll ping where I need it dropped. And this is directly near where you throw lamp flash. You normally line up like in the middle of this doorway and just throw flash at the top of the lamp for the lamp flash. But for this smoke lineup, we're going to line up on the right side of the door frame. From here, I'm going to look to the left and up, and there's some wire frames, some telephone wires right here or something. There's a lighter gray portion. I'm going to aim above the lighter gray portion and just do a regular left click jump throw. That will be my jungle smoke, and to smoke off stairs, I will aim at the top left of this building and just go like up and to the left of it. Make sure you're slightly in the air and up, and do another jump throw. If you did it properly, the stairs smoke should land barely on the edge, and it won't seep down here into sandwich at all. Tip number 2 I'm going to give you is if you ever need to jump into window and you don't want the enemy to hear you just walking along the bench, because this wood noise in mid is very obvious what you're doing, you can always spam your AK as you're doing this jump. That'll mask your audio a bit, and they'll hear somebody shooting their AK, but maybe they'll think you're fighting somebody else instead of jumping up into the window room and ready to swing out onto somebody here. First tip I got for ancient players, if you ever play in cave and you're poor, buy yourself a taser. This place is amazing for waiting for somebody to walk into you because they're forced into that close range engagement, and generally the only time they're going to win is if they start like swinging into you and abusing the peeker's advantage. But you can also just play different angles. There's that corner you can play, there's this corner you can play, and there's this corner you can play. There's 3 different taser angles you can play that are all really strong places that's hard for the enemy to clear all of them. If you ever want to rush A main yourself, I like to throw a molly on this right side here. This is really good just for masking your own steps, but it also makes the enemy team think, oh, the A player mollied A, so it's mollied. Like, they don't think I'm pushing through it, but unless they're back here or checking this themselves to see that I didn't molly A properly, then they don't know that I'm actually pushing and swinging them unless they understand that I could be. And if you watch the video all the way through, I really appreciate it. And I would also appreciate it more if you could, you know, give me a like or maybe even subscribe, turn that notification bell on. Shit, you know how it is. But thank y'all for enjoying. Catch y'all next time. If you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe again. Peace.